What's up, y'all? This is Dr. Jewel, and I am so excited to partner with Yes Lord Radio in my new radio show, Ask Dr. Jewel. I'm a doctor of nursing, a professor, a clinician, and your go-to for all things pertaining to mental health, mental wellness, and mental illness. Look, y'all, just call me America's MHS, Mental Health Specialist. So look, you all, it's time. It's time to get your minds right with Ask Dr. Jewel. What's up, you all? This is Dr. Jewel, and I got my friend JB in the house.
Hey, y'all. It's so good to be back in this space. I hope y'all are well.
Man, I hope they are well too, JB. How you doing?
You know what? I'm a little foggy today, but I'm going to make it.
Hey, man, look, sometimes the fog comes, you know what I'm saying? You know.
It does.
You know, sunny days. Everybody loves them. But tell me, can you stand the rain or the fog, baby? You know what I'm saying? But you know what? You can make it through. Hey, we going to pray that you make it through.
We got power on the inside.
Hey, oh, glory. That's all I got to say, man. You know, that fire. All right. So look, I pray that fire burns in your mind, your thought. Well, I don't want to singe anything. But anyway, I pray that you will be able to make it. We got some things to talk about in this show. And I believe, look, that fog comes because don't nobody want us to talk about what we about to talk about today. Yeah. You know what I mean? We about to get in here. I think there's some haters out here. Oh, it's going to be some haters on this because some of y'all fall in this category. You know, we had some conversation. We were talking about it at a church meeting. And, you know, we were just talking about bullies. You know, and bullies come in all shapes, sizes, colors, socioeconomic groups. Bullies, man, they just, oh my goodness, they go across the lifespan. You got little bullies, you got middle age bullies, you got senior bullies. I'm just saying, they are everywhere. So, you know, when I thought about bullies, I used to think about that little kid on the playground that used to be bigger than everybody else, used to push everybody down, and then you see a group of people behind them, and they were like the bully assassin crew, and they come up there and roll up on you, and kids be running from them and everything. Remember that, J-Bo?
Yeah, I do.
You know, you got those pictures of a bully, but baby, let me tell you, bullies have evolved, honey. Bullies have evolved. It ain't even about that life now, honey.
They found ways to hide.
Oh my goodness, and then they get people to co-sign them. And y'all, we are going to talk about bullies on today's Ask Dr. Jewel. You know why?
Why?
Because bullying matters, honey. Ooh. Bullying matters. And so we got to deal with bullies. So you know what we going to, JB, it's so much to talk about. We going to divide this thing. Okay. We going to do the school age bullying. And then we going to go to the adult bullies. Ooh, oh my goodness. You better hang on in there with us on this episode of Ask Dr. Jewel.
Stay tuned.
All right, man. All right, you all, we are back today, and we're going to talk about bullying, JB.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we got to talk about it because this bullying thing is totally out of control.
Yes.
Totally out of control. I've got kids coming into my office with anxiety, depression, don't want to live, cutting themselves because of bullies. And you know what? We got to talk about it. We got to expose the bullies. We got to talk about what we can do to help people, why people even are bullies in the first place, how we have parents that are helping their kids to be bullies. I mean, we got a whole lot to talk about how teachers are watching bullies in their classrooms, teachers being bullied. Y'all, we got to talk about this thing because we got to take, you know, the darkness. We got to pull the fog up out of this topic and come on and address it. No more elephants in the room. I'm tired of elephants and bullies in the room. So look, we're going to talk about it. So look, bullies. Do you remember being bullied? Because I want to tell you my story about being bullied. Okay, so look, let me tell you how it was. Okay, so like when I went from private school to elementary school, public elementary school, okay? First of all, I was racially bullied in the private school because I was the only African-American female in that school, in that Lutheran school in Baltimore City. All right. So we talk about, so I was bullied there, racial bullying. All right. You know, little brown girl. So I got that side, you know, then I got a little aggressive because I got mad. And so then I started just fighting everybody. Okay. So then they put me out of school and got suspended a couple times from that school. My mom was like, you need to go to public school. I was like, yeah, I want to go to public school. So went to public school. Then I met up with Jen. Janice.
And what happened?
Janice and honey, and then I went to my third grade class. So, I was fast doing my homework. I was doing stuff real quick. Teacher giving assignments. I was like, I knew all that stuff, right? So I finished the stuff, and so they looking at me like she thinks she all that. I'm sure that's what it was. Then I was kind of kept my little cute little clothes on, did my little thing. They ain't like it. So you know what they would do? They would come up to me during lunchtime, say, you got some money? And I was like, yeah, give it to me. So they made me give them all my money. This happened every single day. They took my cookie and my milk, they took my money, JB. Then, I was like, look, you don't know that back in private school I was a fighter. So
right.
I guess I'm going to have to bring it over here in the public school.
Right.
So JB went down to the cafeteria one day.
Did?
They took my money. They asked me for my money again. I said, I'm not giving you my money.
Then
they tried to roll up on me. JB, they must have forgot.
And what did you do?
Oh, my goodness. I tore up. No, I tore up the cafeteria. Threw chairs all over the place. Went crazy up in that joke. Total destruction. Ended up in the principal's office. Principal called my mama. It's like, come get your child. Now, my mama was a school teacher. She worked at the school board. And they were like, so here I am, my mama working for a school board. I'm getting put out of Baltimore City Public Schools for fighting, throwing chairs all over the place. They said it wasn't that she should have got them, but she was throwing chairs and tearing up everything. JB, that's where that thing all started. Bullying matters. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I wasn't going for it. So what did that do for me? Bullying made me aggressive. I'm patching the toe. Look, why am I saying this, you all? All of you, most people have an experience with a bully, but what the difference is that bullying hits people in different ways. Some people, they become anxious, all right? Some people become fearful. Then you got the ones like me that become straight up aggressive. So, Jonathan, passing the ball to you, man. Tell me your experience with bullying.
I actually took the other turn. I didn't turn out to be aggressive, but I turned inward and really didn't kind of disengage class in school. At the elementary level, it was Robert King. Oh my goodness. He would rip my stuff off the walls.
No!
You know how you put up your assignments and writing and essays and pictures. Every time I had something posted, he would rip it off and put it on the hallway. He just was a terror.
Absolutely.
And I actually ended up going to high school with him, and he was totally different, which was interesting. But all through elementary school, middle school, high school, I was terrified of him. And it just because there were some residual effects. Then in junior high, there was Chevalier Tappan. So I had Candy. I loved Candy. Right.
The whole names, like you can pronounce those names.
Because it was traumatic.
Yeah,
it was traumatic.
Absolutely.
So I would have Candy for my friends. So I bring Candy to school. And what did he do? Every time we had Algebra 1 class together. And what he would do, he would sit behind me and poke me and hit me with a ruler, with his pen, with his textbook. And the teacher wouldn't do anything. And I'm like, this is unacceptable. So because nobody would do anything, I took matters into my own hands. So one time he hit me and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go home and fix him. So I was giving away like suckers and blow pops and all those things. So I took the blow pop, and because I knew it was red, I found all the ingredients that were red and clear to put on top of it.
Yes.
So I unraveled it. I added hot sauce, X-Lax, all the things that I could think of, and wrapped it back up, gave it time to soak in and dry. And the next time he came to me, I gave him the blow pop and never heard from him again. Now, I'm not saying you should poison your bullies. Do not poison.
Right, because you may go to jail
don't
for your
do that.
bullies.
Yeah,
But JB, you know what I'm saying?
But sometimes you want to react.
Absolutely, and retaliate, and they bring out the worst.
And then at home, I would hear, well, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you. Words hurt.
Oh, words are destructive.
That's a lie.
Oh my good, that is totally a lie. Where do we get that from?
And then we spiritualize it. My parents will always say, well, the wicked will be cut down like grass. And I'm like, well, I don't see nobody's legs getting chopped off in this piece. They keep going. They not
You
cut
hear what I'm
off.
saying? We don't hear none of that. They are still walking there 2 legs, 2 feet, and we don't understand, And so we have to be careful when we spiritualize, these types of things because they are real. And basically what it does, it kind of discredits you and kind of lets them know that, I'm not really tracking with you. And so, we can't just spiritualize it like, God, who does God say that you are? You are what? No, who do these 500 kids that I look at every day? Who do they say that I am? And we have to realize that is real in the life of a child. So let's talk about bullying, Jay, because it's all different kinds of bullying, and I need for us to deal with this like for real. So I'm gonna put a definition around bullying.
What's that mean?
Yeah, bullying is, okay? Bullying is a repeated, intentional pattern of aggressive behavior directed towards another person or group of people, typically with the goal of causing harm, fear, or distress. All right? So it's intentional, all right? Directed towards a person, a group of people with the goal of harm, fear, or distress. And I'm just saying, as African Americans, we definitely can relate to that.
Absolutely.
No question. And I'm not saying that we're the only people group that can, but we definitely can relate to that. But another thing about bullying, JB, that I don't think we take into consideration is that bullying can take different forms. Okay, because a lot of what we talked about was physical bullying.
Can it be verbal?
It can be verbal bullying, okay? Relational, social bullying. Then we have this thing, like we said, cyber bullying, okay? I also add, positional bullying.
Yes.
Because usually it involves an imbalance of power. You know what I mean? Usually someone is some kind of way is in a position of power, whether the power is physical power or whether it's just influence, okay? Because influence is power, all right?
Well,
come on now, And so basically, the perpetrator, the bully, seeks to exert some control or dominance over the victim, leading to negative consequences.
Control and dominance?
That's a beast brewing, isn't it? And so we've got to deal with that, leading to negative consequences. And those consequences can be physical, emotional, mental health issues. And so what I find, JB, is that these kids are coming to me young, all right? Because they are like, oh my goodness, they have not processed in their brains, in their young, fragile brains that haven't even fully developed. They're still trying to figure themselves out and the world out, okay? And then all of a sudden, you've got to mix bullying, somebody exerting authority, control over them in the mix. And so, man, bullying is serious. Matter of fact, when we do ACE scores, when we do adverse childhood experiences, and that's a test that we do, you all, in the clinical setting, and you can do it. You can go online, look up ACE, adverse childhood experiences, and basically what it has there are a list of things that kind of let us know, have you experienced trauma in your life, all right? Because the moral story is that if you've experienced a lot of trauma in your life, that directly relates to mental health and wellness, and also it's attached to physical health and wellness, because where your mind goes, your body follows. So basically, what we do, we look and we count those ACE scores, okay? So you may say, you know what, I had parents that were divorced. I had a parent that was verbally abusive, okay? Or I was, and one thing that's not in there, JB, that needs to be is bullying. Okay, because the test needs to continue to evolve to reflect the current culture. All right,
that's right.
But bullying, racism, those are things that are not there, but that need to be there. All right, but if you have been bullied or your child is being bullied, that is traumatic.
That's
all right, so we need to just go ahead, pause right there, take a moment of silence.
Yes.
All right, bullying is traumatic. So when your child, or when you detect that a child is being bullied, you need to understand that that is a traumatic event, and how their brain processes it is different for every child. And people will come out of that bullying experience in different ways. So how does it manifest, J-Bo? That means these 30-year-olds coming in my office having severe anxiety, panic attacks. And one thing that I asked him, JB, I'm like, were you bullied when you were a kid? Yes. And just like you did, they can name the person, what they did, how they did it. Look, it's some teachers out there bullying kids. It's some teachers out there. Look, I'm not trying to shame teachers. Everybody in my family teacher, and I'm an educator as well. But what I'm saying is that you've got to watch it, because you saying some of these things to the kids.
That's right.
I mean, I know my husband has even mentioned this teacher said something to me. He is 100 years old now. I'm just playing. But you know what I mean? He is older, and he still is traumatized by that, because what? You have a person that's in a position of authority.
That's right.
Okay? And using their authority to persuade and look, sometimes exert control
and
over
dominance.
You and dominance. All right? Okay? They can send you to the office.
Yeah.
They can mess with your grades. They can do a whole lot. They can poison all the other teachers against you.
That's right.
All right. And so, look, we've got to remember those things, JB. It is serious. Tell me, you are an educator. What are you seeing out here on these streets before we start bringing in these serious, hardcore stats about the prevalence of bullying in schools?
I think some, just in my experience in middle school and beyond, what I've noticed is it's not really thought of as something that needs to be dealt with immediately. Sometimes it's something simple as a student may come to you and say, they're picking on me. And the teacher just kind of brushes it over and says, okay, well, what did you do? Why? And it kind of places blame on the person being bullied and not the bullier.
Wow.
So that can often, students will then kind of turn inward and stop trusting adults, because depending on how each adult responds to their reporting, then they might not even believe that there's anyone that can help them through it. There's also, with this rise in social media and all these applications, it's not like when we were in school. You didn't have a record of things. No, you had Polaroids, so couldn't nobody just take a picture
That's right.
and post that anywhere.
That's right.
There was no Facebook. Texting was not even a big thing. You could maybe text a word or two. Now with Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok and all these various applications, students can do anything from snapping a picture of you and pass that around the school, adding stickers and different names to the picture, and you will have no idea that it's happening. And there's also a lot of stuff happening on Facebook. Oftentimes when you, as a teacher and even as leaders, you'll know when a fight is about to happen, because it's generally posted. And the problem with that, though, is if you, as a person in power, with power and authority, choose to turn your head the other way, then you have a responsibility to actually act and do something about it. It's not enough to just say, you know what, well, let me just monitor it.
Right.
It only happened one time. So let me not really address it. And before you know it, things blew up.
Absolutely. So you know what? I'm just thinking about this because, you know, the stats show that 70% of school staff have seen bullying.
Come on.
All right. And, you know, it says that more than half of bullies, 57%, stop when a peer intervenes. Whoa. So we're seeing something there, you know, because that means that we've got to raise up advocates, people that will stand in the gap and say, you know what, this is not good. We have to build a culture in our school where it's people are empathetic, where people are compassionate and kind, and we will not tolerate a culture that does not do that. Okay.
They call them upstanders instead of bystanders. Be an upstander.
Come on now. I like it. Stand up. That's right. I like it. And then it also says, you know, again, that I didn't know this, JB.
What?
Sixth graders experience the most bullying.
Wow.
Did you know that?
But you know what? That's probably that's a pivotal point in their growth and development, as some might be starting to go through puberty and feeling themselves in terms of hygiene and okay, my body's changing, there's smells coming, I don't really know what to do, and then you come to school and folks are making fun of you.
Absolutely.
You smell.
That's right.
You stink.
That's right.
You funky.
That's right. All that. That's right. All that, all the things. And then send an emoji, send a text message, send
Yes.
all the things with it, okay?
Yes.
After they done took a picture of you and they're putting all kinds of, oh my goodness, those GIFs, it just gives stickers are horrible.
Right.
I mean, it
They're
can
horrible.
really get bad. So I want to just hit a couple of things because
Yes.
I want to give people some tools, all
Okay.
right? So, teachers play a critical role in addressing bullying in schools. Okay, so I just want to leave my educators, I love you all. Look, I want to leave you all with some practices.
Yes.
Okay, some things that you can do to address bullying effectively. Okay, so first of all, I want you to really be in tune.
Yeah.
Okay, just be in tune. And if a kid tells you that they're being bullied,
Yes.
you deal with it.
Believe them.
Believe them. All right. Believe them. And don't be like, what did you? None of that. Believe them. Okay. Create a safe environment for them. Set boundaries, set guidelines for respectful behavior, what you will tolerate from the start of the school year.
Yes.
But let me tell you something. If you ain't started from the start, like I tell people, it's never too late to
And
turn
it's
that
always
corner.
time
You
to
understand what I'm
reset.
saying? You can change your culture anytime. It's a little harder, yes, but go ahead, go on in there, okay?
Yeah.
And foster a classroom atmosphere where all students feel valued and included, okay?
Yeah.
And then promote.
And that's more than just a poster.
Oh my goodness.
You can have all the
That's
posters and all the visuals up, and even a policy statement about bullying, and it doesn't live within your instruction,
Absolutely.
your classroom environment, and the proof is actually in what you see.
Come on.
Not just what
Come
you
on, because I need
and what
people
you
to
do, rather.
That's right, because I need people to take a pulse because some of us are bullies.
Ooh.
Some of us are undiagnosed bullies, all right? We're going to deal with it. We're undiagnosed bullies, all right? And so, hey, it's all right with us. It's all right with us. And then we have these parents that go and say, you bully, you need to go and beat up everybody in the class, in the school and all. I mean, you have a whole lot that's going on here. But I want to go back to teachers again.
Yes.
You want to educate students about bullying,
Yes.
okay? We got to talk about it, all right? That there's more than somebody just laying hands. It's mentally, emotional. It's different types of bullying, okay? And so you've got to really start teaching and having age-appropriate lessons where you demonstrate.
Yes.
You do play. You do whatever you need to do to make that thing come alive. All right, and encourage open communication. We're gonna talk about bullies, and if you see it, look, I'm a grown adult, but if I recognize a bully when I see him coming. I was just bullied today at work. But the more the story is that I was like, that's not gonna happen,
That's
baby.
right.
Because I see it, I smell it, I get with it, and we're not doing that.
So
all
if
right.
you see something, you need to what?
Come on.
Say something.
Say something. If you see it, say it. And do something. That's right. So, just be an observer of behavior.
Yeah.
If you see a student over there and you see them messing with another student, you need to check them like, we're not tolerating that. We're not about that life.
That's
all
right.
right. But then, J-Ball, let's just make it real. Let's keep it real. You got these parents out here that know that their kids are full-fledged terrorist bullies up in the house, and they are like, and they won't say nothing about it. You go to them and show them the proof that their kids are tormenting and terrorizing other kids, making them not want to come to school. When they come to school, they getting sick, want to go home.
Yeah.
Why? Grades falling, emotional wreck, having to come to me because it. And you sit there and be like, well, they ought to be hard. They ought to be able just to take it. It happened to me. They ought to be, why that's what's wrong with them. They, they need to be, you need to toughen them up. No, you have not taught your child respect for other people.
That's right.
So you know what? That's a whole nother show, all right? But I'm just saying another thing. Teach students. If you don't teach students to be active bystanders and stand up against bullying.
That's right.
Look, the stats say that 57%, more than half of bullies stop when someone intervenes. So you need to be that person that intervenes. You need to be that person. I've had young people come to me and said, I stood up against the bully. I almost got in trouble for standing up against the bully for someone else. How do you think that probably made that other person feel amazing and let the bully know that you are not a unchecked system? J-Bo, what you think about that?
That's a great point, and it makes me think about documentation too. Like, if you notice that your teacher has not done anything, kind of take a pulse on how many times did you go to that teacher to kind of share with them, you know what, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening again. You haven't done anything about it. That kind of helps put a track on the many times that you brought the issue to light. Absolutely. And that can help parents as well, because oftentimes you may not even know that your child is being bullied. They may not even tell you about the meetings where they pull kids in. So some of that, to your point about being aware and seeing something and saying something and doing something, really matters.
Absolutely.
And understanding your position of power and authority, whatever level you're at.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you, J-Bo, for that. And for parents, if your child is being bullied, and they tell you, you create an environment where they can share. You don't shame them. That's right. You know, get over it. I got over it. You know, when that happened to me, no. Because what we had back in the day and how kids are being exposed, they're false, all that is different than it is today, honey. And so my thing is that parents, I need you to be advocates for your child. If your child's grades are slipping, if their personality is changing, if they don't want to go to events, they're isolating, you need to have a pulse on that child to say, what is going on? Are you being bullied? Is somebody trying to come for you? I know it's real. I know it hurts. Let's talk about it. It's all good. We're going to be in the trenches together and we're going to deal with it. Mama, I don't want you to talk about, well, you know what? Hey, we're going to take this thing as far, but what I need you to realize is that bullying has severe and lasting mental health consequences. So maybe, J-Bo, if I talk about the consequences of bullying, maybe parents, teachers, administrators will be a little bit more sensitive to it and get in the trenches with it. Look, bullying is directly attached to depression. Victims of bullying may experience sadness, hopelessness, loss of interest and pleasure, and it also can contribute to the development of depression and also can lead to thoughts of not wanting to live, passive and active suicide. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes,
we can't let this thing slide. It also causes anxiety, okay?
Yes.
You know, that can result from constant fear and worry and anticipation of bullying incidents. You know, before I jumped on those two people that were coming for me, I used to call my mom every single day and say my stomach hurts. I don't feel good today. If your child had a genuine love for school and then all of a sudden they're sick every day, don't want to go, you better put your finger on the pulse of that, all right? And start dealing with that. Low self-esteem, okay? Bullies can totally erode a person's self-esteem.
Yes.
All right. And so, you know, I want you, if your child starts developing, oh, I'm ugly, I'm bad, I'm this, I'm that. And you're like, wait a minute, hold on. We don't even use that language in this house. We have always, you are beautiful. You are fearfully wonderful. What is all of this coming from? You better suspect it may be a bully group of people that are using their power and influence, you know, to be able to speak negatively about that person. And as a result, they are internalizing that. All right. If your kid starts isolating, all right, if they start self-harming, cutting themselves, those type of things, or if they become angry like me, all right, you know, they internalize it and they start getting explosive and start turning up. That once was I, okay? So start looking at that, all right?
And to that point, you mentioned cyberbullying, and there are a few warning signs there in terms of maybe your child hides their screen or device when others are near. They may avoid discussion about what they're doing on their device. They may start and stop social media accounts rapidly. You might also see noticeable increases on the device use, including texting, because they could be trying to could be in a group chat and everyone in the group chat is bullying someone and they're all responding, or you're the one who's being bullied, but you're still in a group chat seeing all these texts that are directed at you and you're not really sure how to deal with it. So there's so many warning signs on all sides.
Absolutely, JB. So you know what? Thank you so much for addressing cyberbullying, because that's major. So we've got a lot to talk about on this subject. We talked about the definition of bullying, you know, signs and symptoms of bullies, but we got to talk more about this. Like, where does bullying even come from? Why do you feel the need to bully? What are some things you can do? Hotlines that you can call, you know, resources that we can give to people about bullying. And then we haven't even talked about adult bullying. So you know what? Let's talk about it, you all. on the next Ask Dr. Jewel. Tune into the next episode. Look, Yes Lord Radio, thank you. God bless you for this platform. And please, if you want to listen to more of these episodes, go to the YouTube channel. I have one. It's called Ask Dr. Jewel. And all of these episodes are on my YouTube station. All right. So look, thank you again. Love you all. God bless you. Bullying Part 2. Come back to Ask Dr. Jewel. Thanks, J. Bo.
It's so good to be back.
All right. Love you, man.